Alan, Wasalan, you with the nasty pastor, and I'm back with another chapter reading from Ramses, Volume 1, Series 1. Right now, we're working on the chapter we're on, will be chapter 18. And I must say, so far, this book has been very interesting. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say put it down because I don't do this just for me. I do this for the culture. I'm not going to say put it down and discontinue my read, but I wouldn't be so much enthusiastic to do this. You feel what I'm saying? I wouldn't have that much interest in doing it. You know, sometimes I'm doing some off recording, listening. You feel what I'm saying? I might run across a documentary on YouTube. You know what I mean? Or I might run across some information just on Google. You know what I mean? Just on Copilot, whether I have to read it, not listen to it. You feel what I'm saying? And knowing what I know. You feel what I'm saying? Knowing what I know, there is false information out there. This culture, as the years go, the days go, the months go, the decades go, the century pass, the history changes. Yes, the history changes because when people speak up and they give you insight to what they know, and there are breadcrumbs, there are dots to connect your information as factual, you know, they throw it in this and they update the history. You feel what I'm saying? There are some things that I've said that I see where Imhotep has updated some history. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not loving the hotels because they updated the history. You feel what I'm saying? I love them because of the things they forged in Africa that is still relevant today. That's what you call permanent change. You understand what I'm saying? And the laws they put in place in Kemet, you know, it proved we were civilized. We was not barbarians. We was not savages. Anyway, love, you know who you with. Yeah, you know who you with. You with the nasty pastor. Let's dig into this reading. There's no better job than being a royal scribe. Her said enthusiastically, you gain the king's confidence. You have access to the treasury, the storerooms. You receive a share of excess temple offerings. You are outfitted with fine clothing, horses, a boat. You have a beautiful residence. You collect revenues from your properties. Devoted servants tend to your every need. Your hands stay soft and white. Your back unbent. There is no heavy lifting, no hoes, picks, or shovels, no forced labor, and your orders are carried out to the letter. Now let's pause right there. You know, one would read that and fight and say, well, okay, his hands was white. The woman said his hands white, so they had to be Europeans. Open your palms up. I don't care how black you is. I don't care how purple you is. You can go get the darkest African in the nowadays. Ask them to open their palm or their hands up. And you tell me what you see. Let's get back into this read. Your palate, read, pens, and papers are the keys to prosperity. They'll make you a rich and respected man. Fame and glory, you ask. They go with the job. The voices of scribes are heard through the centuries while their contemporaries fade into oblivion. Be a scribe, Ramses recited from memory from a book is more durable than a stela or pyramid. It was preserved your name better than any monument. As heirs, scribes have their books of wisdom. Their writings are priests that offer prayers for the departed. Their son is the tablet upon which they write the stone engraved with hieroglyphs, their wife. The strongest buildings crumble and disappear, yet the works of the scribes last through the ages. Splendid. Exclaim sorry. Sally, you haven't lost one bit of all I taught you. I think you mean the teachings of our elders. Of course, but I was the one who led you to them. I want to backtrack for a minute and re, re, reword what I said, because Sari is a man. That's Ramses' best friend. I thought he was talking to I said the fail, but he's speaking to Sari. You feel what I'm saying? Now let's dive back into this. And I thank you for it. I'm prouder of you by the day, my boy. Be the best royal scribe you can, and the rest will take care of itself. Sari had to go to play host. Chit-chat, drinking, fishing, whispered lies, and secrets. Ramsey found the atmosphere stiffening. He had nothing in common with these people who never looked beyond their limited privilege horizon. His sister took him gently by the arm. Happy, asked Delora. Doesn't it show? What do you think of my outfit? Let's pause there. You know, there's Delora Ramsey's sister, or is Delora Sari's sister? You feel what I'm saying? Because there's nowhere in history I've read about Delora. I believe I came across some information that said Seti had some daughters. I never even knew about Shana. You feel what I'm saying? Shana is the oldest brother. You give me, and it makes me wonder, what did they do in history where they're not spoke of? You give me, they're not. They're really not spoke of at all. He stepped back to look at her. Her dress was too gaudy, her wig too elaborate, but at least she seemed a bit perkier than usual. You look like the perfect hostess, a compliment from you. How very unusual, that should make it special. You look awfully good in a New Year's procession, I hear. I stood there and didn't say a word. Exactly, the court was expecting a different kind of behavior. What kind? A wicked gleam came into Delora's eyes. A protest, even an attack. When you don't get your way, you usually react much more strongly. Is our lion turning into a lamb? Ramses clenched his fist, fighting the urge to slap her. Okay, so Delora is Ramses' sister. That's another name I'm gonna keep trying to come across information about also. You feel what I'm saying? Maybe we can get some information on his sister. Maybe we can get some information on his brother. And there's much information about Seti One out there. So, the mother also, their mother. There's information about them. You got what I'm saying? Do you know what I want, Delora? What our brothers has, and it can never be yours. Yours wrong. I'm not envious. All I'm searching for is my own true path. Ramses, there's not much going on at this time of year. The Memphis can be so hot. We're leaving soon for our palace in the Delta. Come with us. We never see you. You can teach us to row. We can swim and catch some really big fish. My work. Come, Ramses, now that you're recognized as a member of the royal family, why not spend some time with us? You need to unwind. Okay, that's the end of this chapter. Read. And now we're in chapter this chapter, what I said, 18. This is chapter 18. Yeah, chapter 18, and we're just hearing about the Lord. You get what I'm saying? So history not so much is repeating itself, but there's things in history that is omitted. You feel what I'm saying? Not really put in there, not really talked about. I get that there's nothing great they done. I get that because if they had a major contribution to our culture, they will be talked about unless they have been misrepresented. There's no hieroglyphs, there's no history, there's no no history that been given down about them. You feel what I'm saying? What's probably been given down is surface of who they are and not the background. You feel what I'm saying? When you touch the surface of a person, that's just like you how to put this? I know you by your name, but I don't know you. You get what I'm saying? I never hung around you. I just know of you. That's touching the surface of a person. When you're touching the background of a person, you know that person. You hung out with that person. You and that person have lived life together. That's not saying I know of. That is saying I know that person. You feel what I'm saying? Usually when it comes to me, a person that I've been in their company every now and then, I know of them. You feel what I'm saying? I don't sit there and I know them, because see, when you say you know a person, then you should understand who they are and you are able to explain who they are. And sometimes you're not. Some people act one way around you and go act 2-3 ways around other people. You know, I give you, for instance, there are some things I never show my Aunt Trisha. I would never show her that. And I told that to her face. That's something I never wanted you to ever know about me or see from me. So can she control me? Yeah, she can control my attitude easily. Very easily. There are things I'm not going to ever show her. Ever. I show her the good side of me. I've shown her I could be a nasty person. She know I can be a nasty person. But what I display to her is a very mature young man. You understand me? A very mature young man. Anywho, anyway, I say this to you once again, you know what I mean? You've been with the Nasty Pastor. This has been another reading from Ramses Volume 1, Series 1. And as I said, you know, let's do some research on Delora, which is Ramses' sister. Let's do some research on Shinar, which is Ramses' oldest brother. I did do some research on Shinar. I did do that and came up with some things, you know what I mean, that add up to what I'm reading in this book. But like I said, their history, their life is very dense in our culture. Very dense. Anywho, I'm out and I love you.